We've helped generate almost $500,000 in sales using Skool in less than a year. And we've helped coaches in different niches: real estate, content creation, finance, even vending machines. We've come up with so many offers and have really seen what works and what doesn't. So today I'm going to break down every type of offer you can create using Skool and then rank them S tier to D tier so you know exactly which models bring in the most cash, create the biggest impact, and are actually worth your time, and which ones might just keep you stuck in spinning your wheels. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which offer type fits best into your business, and you're going to know how to maximize your revenue potential and client impact on Skool. The first type of offer is just a pure membership where you have a recurring subscription. This can be both monthly or annual. And the reason that I like this is, one, because it's native to Skool, and Sam Ovens and the Skool leadership team really pushes the membership hard. That's why they built Skool for the membership. And now they're really pushing towards low ticket memberships as well. Another reason that I like memberships is because you have recurring income, so it's easier to forecast your revenue and your cash flow. And these memberships can be really fun, so you can do different things to gamify them, create challenges, have different unlocks, because it's a little bit lower stakes. Now, some of the cons to memberships are, one, these are generally lower ticket, and that means you're going to have a lower lifetime value of your customer, and you're going to have less cash up front. So these types of businesses are much slower in terms of revenue growth. Another thing about these memberships are, because they're low ticket, customers are generally less committed to consuming the content, to learning and implementing what you're teaching. And so you're going to have slower and less customer results versus some of these other business models that we're going to talk about. If you're selling monthly particular and it's low ticket, you're going to have an extremely high volume of traffic. And I think a lot of people really underestimate the volume of traffic they need to make this thing actually hit 10, 20, 30K a month. And then one of the last problems is just the problem of churn. Generally, you'll have like 3 or 4 months of that membership and people will churn out. Churn becomes a really big issue in this membership. Now, there are ways to address churn. What I found is that it's really time consuming, and it still takes just as much work as some of these other models. So if I were to rank this based on annual and monthly, splitting it up, I would say if you can have an annual membership and place it at a premium price, like $2,000 and above, I really like this model because you have the recurring revenue and you can charge higher ticket for it. You just have to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver in 12 months. And that is going to be 12 months of work for you. But then you don't have to worry about acquiring new customers. So annual membership, I actually rank as A tier. And then for the monthly membership, man, the churn is just so bad. And these are so low ticket. I would really rank monthly membership in, I'm going to go C tier. Sorry, but I just don't like it. It's too slow growth. It's too much work on the churn, right? And you're not able to liquidate your cost, and so it's not extremely profitable. Okay, so the next model is a high ticket coaching offer, and this is generally a done with you type of service that, again, includes training, resources, mentorship, and guidance, except it's generally for 2K, 3K plus, and for a shorter period of time, like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, etc. I really like this model. I could be my favorite. Maybe I'm biased, but I like this because there's low overhead to these business models and there's extremely high profit margins. So I've had friends and I know entrepreneurs, and we've even helped people scale up to $50,000 months with a very small team, and even solopreneurs can scale up to $50,000 per month with high ticket coaching. And even a 2 to 4 person team can scale up to $100,000 per month. And I've just seen this time and time again across different creators, different entrepreneurs. Another thing I really like about high ticket coaching is that when somebody pays you thousands of dollars for something, they're actually very committed and all in to getting the results. And so because it switches the buyer psychology, the buyer is a lot more keen to getting the results. And this actually helps you transform people's lives and have a higher impact on their transformation. And then you'll start getting better customer testimonials and customer results, and you can start marketing it for the business. And so that really creates like a flywheel effect, which starts to attract more people who are, down to take this seriously. Another thing I like is, like, as a high ticket price, you kind of place yourself at a premium. You don't want to be the lowest cost in the market, which is kind of more what the memberships are about. It's almost like feels like a race to the bottom, but high ticket coaching is like, okay, you are a premium coach. This is going to be the clear transformation that you're going to get. This is the ROI and the justification for why you can price it high ticket. And then, your clients are bought in and they're like, okay, let's do this. I'm going all in. And they get those results. Now, some of the cons are one, it requires more trust and a bigger personal brand, more authority, and just better marketing overall. You need to have results for your clients that you can show with proof that you can get these results for other people. A lot of the times, this high ticket coaching has less predictable cash flow. And because they're generally one-time payments above 3K or 5K, sometimes, you can have months that are $50,000 months, and sometimes you can have months that are you only get one client and it's a $5,000 month. There are ways that you can actually mitigate this by the way you structure the pricing, and I'll get to that in one of these later offers. I will say though, I think the pros far outweigh the cons in this scenario, and just looking at what works in the market, what gets the best results, what makes the most money, gives you the highest cash flow, gives you the best margins. I'm going to place high ticket coaching in S tier. Okay, so the next model are cohorts. And a cohort is essentially a 4 to 8 week time period where you bring a group of students along a journey. I like cohorts because one, you can charge a premium high ticket price, right? So you can have that cash up front, high LTV, and it can be extremely profitable with high margins. Another thing that I really like about these cohorts is that it's very strong in relationship building and not just mentorship to student, but also within the students. I've met some of my best friends through different cohorts. The reason is because you feel like you're going on this journey together with somebody else. And that experience, the ups and downs, the learnings, the transformations, the aha moment creates friendships and bonds that can really last you a lifetime. And some of my best friends I've actually gotten from these cohorts. Another thing that I really like about these is there's just very clear start and end dates. And with that, you have baked in urgency and scarcity within the offer. So you're essentially saying, once this starts, we're closing the cart. And so that gets people to act now and it gets people to buy. Some of the cons, though, of a cohort are it's highly volatile and it requires constant launch campaigns. And so if you're doing a cohort for a month or 2 months, you can only do so many in a year because it requires your time. It requires you going live. It requires you taking that month or 2 months and not getting any sales. So this can actually be a pro and a con, right? Because if you don't want to do ongoing work, then it's good because you can just do it one time, get a lump sum of cash and be done and figure out where you want to go from there. But you're also not getting that consistency in that recurring revenue because you shut down the doors and then you're not getting revenue for a month, 2 months until the next launch campaign. The last thing about cohorts that I do want to say is sometimes they can be stressful because you're going live with your customers, you're delivering content live. There's a little bit more pressure, I think, because the timeline is shrink so far down. People really judge you based on the timeline that you give them to the result. And so if you have a 1 month timeline and you're promising a strong transformation, that's going to be pretty difficult to do. For the cohort model, I would actually rank it in the B tier. And I would say, if you have a large audience, and especially if you don't want to have ongoing work and you just kind of want a lump sum of money, you want to teach people what your expertise is, the cohort is a great model that you can use if you're starting out. And if you want to build a business that has high cash flow, I wouldn't recommend a cohort because there's too much volatility and you can't really charge a premium price if you don't have a ton of results or a ton of authority in your niche. Okay, so the next type of offer that you can make are just one-time course payments. These can be really good because they actually have the lowest overhead. You essentially create it once, right? And you can sell it again and again. Now, you will have to iterate it, make it better if you're a good entrepreneur. It's all about making the product better, but because it's completely do it yourself for the customer, it has the lowest overhead and essentially it could have the highest profit margins in theory. Another thing is just like it's one-time payment and it's one and done. And it's really good for liquidating the cost of customer acquisition, the CAC. And you can actually acquire leads profitably by selling these one-time courses and getting them into your system and liquidating that with the revenue from the courses and then having them into one of your higher ticket offers, right? So it's a good tripwire into a high ticket. It's really easy to fulfill and it's just one time and it's done. These are generally low ticket, so I would say less than $1,000 for sure. And in order to actually make this a profitable part of your business, you're going to have high volume, so high traffic. In order to have high traffic, you're going to have to know how to make organic content consistently. And you see people like Justin Welsh, for example, do this really well, but it's not extremely beginner friendly, I would say, because you want your course to be really, really good and you want to have high traffic, right? And you can't really charge a lot from them. Also, when people buy these one-time courses, again, the customer transformation and results aren't nearly as good as something with coaching and accountability baked in, because a lot of the time somebody will buy something, they'll look at it once and they'll never see it again. We've had students buy $500, $600, $700 things and then never hear from them again. So if I were to rank one-time purchase courses, I would say very good for liquidating ad spend and acquiring customers profitably, not good for actually having the main source of revenue in your business. So I'm going to rank them next to cohorts at B tier. The next offer that you can create is a mastermind, and this is essentially just a high ticket annual membership. These are one of the best business models if you can pull it off, and very, very few people actually have the credibility to do that. One, this is like a premium positioning. And so this attracts committed clients. And there are masterminds that are $25,000, $50,000. And these are things like Inner Circles. These are things like, 8-figure boardroom, William Brown mastermind. And you pay, multi-$1,000 to essentially gain a network, and it's on an annual basis. And so that's another pro of this, is you can really build an elite level network, right, with this. Also on masterminds, there's really minimum content creation, and generally there'll be meetups every once in a while. Everybody will present what they're learning, and it's more of like triangulation of information and data versus one guru or mentor being at the top and teaching everything. And then another pro of this is they're really exclusive, right? And so people like feeling like they're a part of something that's exclusive and rare. And because of this, they have a high likelihood of sticking around, especially if the network is good, especially if the mastermind is run well. Now, some of the cons to masterminds are, well, one, there's just such a high barrier to entry. You have to have so much credibility and authority in your niche, and you have to have a really high network in order to actually make this work. Two, if you're paying for a mastermind, these are generally super high ticket, like 25K plus. And so with that comes an extremely high expectation on the buyer side. Now, I will say the psychology of high ticket buyers is a little bit different than low ticket buyers. And when somebody makes $100,000 a month, $25,000 for a year or something isn't as much in terms of relationship to the cost, their income to cost. So there's a little bit different buyer psychology. Another thing about masterminds is you have to manage events. So this involves planning. A lot of the times this is in person. And again, it requires extremely high credibility, authority. If you're watching this, you probably shouldn't start a mastermind unless you have some kind of crazy authority in some super niche area. But because of the premium nature of it, because of just the annual membership, the elite level network that you can gain, I'm going to put masterminds in the A tier, with the caveat that you probably shouldn't start a mastermind. Okay. Next is the hybrid model, right? And the hybrid model combines multiple methods and multiple offers for both recurring revenue and maximum revenue potential. So again, these can be really high margin businesses. You can have flexible delivery options, live coaching, evergreen courses, communities. You can throw in done for you elements to it. For me, I could say I will write your VSL for you and build your free school community, but you're going to learn how to run ads on your own. The reason that I like this is because it maximizes both client transformation and scalability. It really balances that predictable income with a premium high ticket offer. And this is where I really see the market moving towards the most, which is some done with you elements, some done for you elements, and some do it yourself type of elements. And so when you get this right, you're going to have more cash flow up front. You're going to have high margins. You're going to be able to charge premium prices, and you're going to get really good student results because you can charge premium prices. So for the hybrid model, I would put it S tier. Boom. Okay, so you can also use Skool to run an agency. An agency is essentially just done for you services. You can have it like on an ongoing basis. And I've seen this on Skool where people will charge agency level prices like $1,000 a month and then deliver a service based on that processing within Skool. But in agency services, you don't really need a community because you're just doing work for the client. For that, I actually don't think delivering through Skool on the agency side is that good. And so what I will say is I rank agencies around the C tier. With that being said, that is, again, monetizing through Skool and using Skool to deliver a service. It's different if you're using Skool as a lead gen mechanism for an agency. But in terms of service delivery using Skool as an agency, I would rank that C tier. So the next one is a free community. And this is a big topic because a lot of people ask, should I start a free community? And for 90% of people, my answer is yes. So here are the pros of a free community. One, it is a nurturing mechanism. So living in the trust recession today where people are more skeptical of buying your offers, there's less trust, there's more market saturation, people have been burned. A free community is a perfect place to host content that will nurture, give people value, and help your customers understand their problems, your solutions, how you're unique and different, et cetera, et cetera. And so I really, really like free communities in order to act as a lead nurturing mechanism. And, I have gotten myself several high ticket clients from my free Skool community. And I just have seen this work time and time again in the community funnel, which is something that I teach and I love to do. Now, some of the cons of having a free community is essentially a nurturing mechanism, a lead magnet, etc. And it does take a little bit more management. So it will take more of your time than if you don't have a free community and you just have, some kind of VSL two-step opt-in page. I will say, think about the conversion rate though, is you're spending more time nurturing, right? And less time selling. But in the market where we're at today, like I would say that time is completely justified because you're getting long-term nurturing and trust building with your students and not just selling them right away before they even know who you are, which is a big mistake most people make. That's really the only thing is it takes a little bit more time and it takes a little bit more strategy. It's a little bit more technical. You have to actually know how to structure it, know how to set it up, know how to send people into clients for your other offers. With that being said, I think in today's market where trust is at an all-time low, where people, need to know who you are, you need to establish credibility in the market before you sell them. I would place a free community up at S tier. Last one is SLOTP. What does this mean? Self-liquidating offer, one-time payment. Now, this could be the most underrated offer on Skool right now. Few people are using it, and it works like a charm. So what does this mean? Well, self-liquidating offer is a low ticket payment that liquidates ad spend and get customers into the door for free. I have a video that I shot last week that I talked a little bit more about this. You can go and check that out. Essentially what you do is you bring people into your free Skool community for a one-time payment, not a recurring payment, not a membership, not monthly, not annual, not high ticket, right? Just one-time payment, and they're invited into your Skool community. Within that Skool community, you have a free course. That free course provides value, and it also encourages them to take the next step, which is to book a call with you and your team. This can be extremely effective. A lot of people are running this under the radar right now. I've seen coaches making $100,000 per month plus with this exact funnel. But, it also requires a little bit more sophistication. You have to know how to build marketing funnels. You have to know how to run ads profitably, right? You have to know how to do customer targeting. You have to have your offer really dialed in. So you don't want this to be your core offer. This is just a front end offer. And so if you don't have a high ticket offer that you haven't proven, I would not recommend this. This is not for beginners. But just because of the effectiveness of it, for that, I'm going to rank this A tier. And there you have it. This is just about every offer type that you can make using the Skool platform. Some of these are monetized directly on Skool. Some of these are monetized off of Skool. And I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you agree with me? How would you change this up? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation and talk with you, have a discussion about which of these offer types are your favorite. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate you. If you want to learn how to create offers, how to do digital marketing, how to build funnels, and really how to scale up a coaching business or a school business, then go down below in the description. I have a link to my own free community where I have a ton of resources, lessons I've learned from launching dozens and dozens of offers. And I think you're really going to love it. So just go down in the description, click the link, join the school, shoot me a message when I'm in there. And I'd love to have a conversation with you, see how we can help you. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.